Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Hey everyone, it's Jeff in Orlando, Florida, and I want to welcome you to my podcast, Get to Know Me, where we get to visit with our trans and non-binary friends from all over the world. And joining me today is Hunter. How are you?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good and stuff. So I usually just get right to the first question and start with this thing. So how, or not how, but has being trans been an obstacle in your life with your friends, your family, and work?
Absolutely. With friends and like chosen family, obviously, been very, very close to them. They've been incredibly supportive. Most people, especially now in the community, met me after I started transitioning with hormones.
Hmm.
My dad just recently started talking to me this past June for my birthday after 2 years of completely cutting me off. My
Oh,
mother has been amazing in her own way of being there for me, but not really being like, you're my son, but I want to be in your life.
yeah.
Work does not care. Most
Good.
of them think that I'm like a little cis twink. So
Well, as long as the work environment is very important because that's something we have to do at least 5 days a week, and
right.
with being having the support there is a huge, huge thing. So
Absolutely.
I know you have it on your screen, but I also like to ask, what pronouns do you go by?
Yeah, so I use he, him, they, them, and its pronouns.
Okay.
The last ones get people kind of uncomfortable
What,
because
what do you think that is?
we are taught very early on to not objectify somebody in a way, which obviously in the community that we're in, objectification can be like really a thing.
Yeah.
But um, I was diagnosed with autism very young, so I was already treated as not human. So whenever I came out as trans later in my life, I was still treated as not human, so an object or a thing. So I
Mhm.
love its pronouns to kind of reclaim that.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. I like that. So, uh, and I'm not going to ask, but I'm just going to assume that you are fairly young. So this question may not have a whole lot to, but do you feel like that you missed out on anything during your childhood, providing I don't know when you decided to transition?
Maybe not like right as I was starting puberty, but I would say like especially during high school, because
Hmm.
I came out sophomore year.
Okay.
And it would have been way easier to be like my friend who, when he came out at 16, he was able to medically transition. He had a way easier time.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have dealt with so much online like bullying. That was kind of easy to navigate. People don't say anything unless it's behind a screen nowadays.
Yes, I know.
Uh, but I think it would have been a lot easier, and I wish I would have had a healthier relationship with my family accepting me in high school versus just somewhat starting now as an adult.
Okay. All right. I totally understand. So, what has been your favorite part about the transition?
Oh goodness. Beyond, I do not in any capacity experience gender dysphoria anymore, um, because of everything that I've gone through the past couple of years. But in a weird way, I would say it's such a major teaching moment,
Hmm.
passing in society for the longest time as a woman and being treated as such, and being able to see all the misogyny and patriarchy that's in our society, especially in the US,
Yes.
versus as soon as my voice got deep and a singular mustache hair appeared, and all of a sudden I'm treated with this major higher up level of respect that I didn't know would just automatically come with that. So
Okay.
I would say the education portion.
Okay. So what worries you the most as a trans person in this world today?
Don't like to, as they say, fear monger, but if we know anything from queer and marginalized individuals, we've gone through it and
Yeah.
we're mourning for a reason. But I would say my hormones being completely not available to me anymore and gone to the point that my existence is so criminalized that me just using a public restroom in general, and if someone has an inkling, I will be thrown in jail.
Yeah, and I had that same conversation. I know you know Marquesas, and me and him had the same conversation on the one that he did, and it just breaks my heart that that's the way this world is, or at least the U.S.
Right.
And I just don't understand it, but it's something that we just have to continue to fight.
Right. And he's down in Florida, and I was just there for Florida Power Exchange, and I had to pee really bad getting off the airplane, and I remembered that wearing my vest on the airplane so I don't have to check it, I have a trans symbol on my vest, and I had to give it to my pup and very discreetly find a way into the men's restroom without really drawing attention to myself,
Wow.
just in case.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I totally got you. I know what it's like down here
Mm,
and everything, and it's. I just hope that we can make a change because there needs to be one.
exactly.
And
You are
everything.
so correct.
So, what would have made it easier for you to come out and begin the transition? Anything make it easier for you?
Telling my therapist I'm not ready yet, and please, no, I don't want to. Also, me remembering it was my sister's birthday.
Oh,
He distracted me. I was like bawling, crying in that office, going, "Oh, I'm trans and I'm so sad." And him going, "I think it's time for you. Bring your mother in." And I was like, "Yeah, this is a good idea." Uh, honestly, I wish that I would have been able to grab my parents and really pressure them a lot more to going to the Oklahoma Equality Center. They
hmm
had a peer support group for not just kids my age, but also parents of said kids.
Yeah.
And I feel like doing that instead of waiting for them to come around just for them to kind of change their mind and go back on their word would have made it so much easier.
And you mentioned several things because before I came out at a late age of 34, and I was married to a female for a long time and had three beautiful daughters. And my oldest daughter is now a therapist, and one of her specialties is she does therapy for people that are in the beginning stages of transition and also the ones after transition, which just makes dad proud. So
Oh, I love that so much.
that she has
There's
done
not
that. So
there's not a lot of therapists
no, there's
specific.
not, and I know she's licensed in Tennessee, but there's many other states that she's licensed in. I just don't know what ones they are, but we're all originally from Oklahoma too, so
Oh wow, okay, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So it's pretty awesome. I'm very proud of her. So
Oh, you should be. Absolutely.
so on the flip side, what's been the hardest part of your transition journey?
I would say it's the beyond worrying about my future with political stuff, but
Hmm.
I would honestly say I have no contact with my biological family anymore, and it hurt the first year that I was not invited to Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Yeah,
And then turning to eventually my dad cutting me off because I was having my top surgery consultation. Um, or even just being in predominantly gay male spaces, um, which I'm bisexual, so very much interested in men as well, and having to worry, should I tell them what I have going on downstairs, or are they going to find, as soon as I tell them and ask, are they going to be immediately disgusted with me and treat me completely different?
Yeah.
That's been about the hardest parts, I
All
would say.
right. Well, what can outsiders like me do to make it better for you and our trans and non-binary family?
My favorite thing to tell people, because I have to go about it a very certain way, saying it online, just so nothing gets taken down, which is congratulations. You all of a sudden think that you might have low testosterone levels or low estrogen levels as a cis person. You go and get yourself tested. Oh no, turns out that's true. You get prescribed estrogen or testosterone, but for some reason, it's not working for you. But your trans or non binary friend who just had their HRT completely taken away from them because of politics, their levels magically just went up out of the blue. Beyond that, I would say if you see a GoFundMe, especially for someone in your local area, share it, support it, give your money. If you are privileged enough to have money and can give it to someone, do it. Take people to their appointments or their surgeries, or even just like being a friend. I went with a trans friend who was really scared and concerned about herself going to the polls this past November. And so I went with her to go vote. Um, and if not anything else, set aside some emotional sharing, being there for somebody in a way of like, I just had this happen to me and I need to talk it out, and having the emotional bandwidth to receive that every so often. That is the basic level need that people should be doing for other trans and non-binary people in our community.
Okay. Well, yeah, anything that I'm here to help in any way because, they're part of our family and stuff. And we've had it rough and we'll continue to have it rough. And I think you guys have it worse than we do now is just being gay, and everything. So we've got to gang together and help everybody that's part of this community.
Right. It's the very famous um, leopards eating faces, and then they came for us speech.
Yeah.
Honestly, I see it as a complete repeat of the how people reacted to the AIDS crisis back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a complete, it's like rinse and repeat of just pushing political agendas and saying it's a certain demographic's fault,
Yes. Yeah.
when I'm just kind of like, I just had a pee. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So any last words from Hunter?
Donate to trans people, especially right now with the ones that are living in predominantly red states.
Hmm.
I am not planning on moving anytime soon unless it becomes absolutely necessary for me to do so.
Yeah.
But if you see those GoFundMe's or anything on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, even push for them to be able to get that money so they can move to a safer state.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, it has been a pleasure getting to catch up this little bit of time. And I love being able to talk to people from all over in our community and our family and stuff. And I really thank you for wanting to be a part of this.
Whereas, thank you for letting me on.
Well, we'll talk to you again soon. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
I just want to encourage my listeners to be allies and continue educating themselves. Allies play a key role in supporting the trans community, and podcasts are a great medium for spreading awareness and fostering empathy. Please take care of each other.